Okay, so we're just testing here and getting up live. And if you guys are mid-level or above patron members, you're getting this in the back. It's not live, but we're still streaming it to YouTube, and we're giving it to you in the back end of your patron account. So you're getting it months before everybody else. So make sure you're checking the back end of your patron accounts. So we're just testing here. So I wanted to do that. We're getting voice back. So it is going. So you're getting it months before everybody else in this video broadcast format. We weren't able to do it actually live with you guys chatting just because of our schedule this time, but those will be coming too, like usual. And and then this will also come out in regular podcast format down the road to the regular audience. So there you go. Make sure you're always checking those patron accounts for some of that exclusive early access. All right, with that said, we're going to get started with our episode.
All right. Well, like the following patrons for their continued support. Flip and the Blue Mule of Tampa, Florida. Brett Lewandike of Grantsburg, Wisconsin. And Barry Kinnick of Manassas, Virginia.
LAB-238-Patreon, Patreon. That's right. They pledge a certain amount of purpose content, no risk to you guys, because you can put a monthly cap. There are benefits such as t-shirts and stickers. You get access to the troll-free private Facebook group. Of course, access to this episode months before everybody else in the back end of your patron account. Access to the live video broadcast and chat. Access to the ride meetup and events. And for top tier, access to our premium videos up on request. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. And we love our patron community. We're going to be meeting up in Sturgis this year. We're having our Sturgis. So really quick announcement. Thursday, August 13th, 2020, 9 to 6 p.m. Carve that time out if you're going to attend, but there are some requirements to attend and meet us up in outside the Sturgis area this year. All right, you must be signed up as an official mid-level or above patron member of Law Abiding Biker Media prior to May 13th, 2020. That's 3 months prior to the event, so we can make sure you're committed and get to know you a little bit. The deadline for the sign-up coming quick, June 1st, 2020 by midnight Pacific Standard Time. The only official sign-up form. If you're in the private Facebook group, that's not the official sign-up form. We won't even know about it. That was just to announce when it is. You need to go here and fill out the complete form. lawabidingbiker.com/2020 meetup. That's lawabidingbiker.com/2020 meetup. Fill out the form, complete it, sign it, do everything you're supposed to do. And then you need to look, this is very important, look for 2 emails right after you sign up. You need to get both emails. If you don't see 2 emails, check your email junk spam folder. A lot of times one of the emails is ending up there. That's where people find it. The first email will be the confirmation of the sign up. You'll confirm, we'll say, thanks for signing up and blah, blah, blah. That will give you some preliminary information. The second email that you're looking for is the email list sign up opt-in. You must opt in to be on this official email list. And that's the only way we're going to communicate with you as the event approaches and we get close within days. We'll be, obviously contacting you, and we'll give you the specifics about times and kickstands up and locations and things of that nature. And again, the only people that are getting that are people that have officially signed up and that we've vetted, and you get on that email list. We're already getting a ton of people signing up early, and it's going to be an awesome event. So get over there and don't miss the deadline if you are going to sign up.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for this event.
Yeah, Squid's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I don't know why that's not working. Very interesting. All right. Sorry, guys. One of my buttons not working. All right. Hey, Bikeaholics. 03D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our full line of Zero 3D products. Do you want to talk about this? Oh, no, you don't want to. This is a really important announcement that we want to get in here too. And I got it somewhere right here. Do you want to nail that?
So the 2020 Sturgis sponsorship booth reminders, meet and greet. This is super important to meet.
This open to just patrons or everybody?
This is open to everyone, I do believe, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
anybody who wants to come, and we want to meet them, actually.
If you can hear my voice, show up. I'll be there. See a squid in person.
Yeah.
But meet the lab crew, all of us, including Popeye. We'll be there Tuesday, the 11th, 2020. We'll be at, which booth are we going to be at there?
So Rick Rack booth from right there.
Rick Rack booth from 11 to 1 p.m. And we're going to zip over to the Zero 3D booth from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And
wherever those booths are in future episodes, we ran into this last episode because I don't know yet. I can't remember if Rick Rack and Zero 3D are both going to be in Sturgis or they're going to be at the Black Hills Harley Davidson dealership because there's another venue there. Anyways, in future episodes, we'll let you know because I got to contact them because we have confirmed the times, but I forgot. Anyways, just find out where at Sturgis the Rick Rack booth is, find out where the Zero booth is, and if it's something you're interested in, we would love to meet you in person. It's just a meet and greet. It's open to everybody, anybody that follows Law Abiding Biker Media, and we would like to meet you in person.
Right, shake some hands.
Shake your hands, smoke and joke. Yeah. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of stickers there to hand out, and we have to travel light, so we can't take a bunch of stuff. But yeah, and of course, Rick Rack and Zero both sponsors, so they've invited us for those meet and greets, and they'll be putting out some stuff and information on their pages too as we approach that.
All right.
There you go. Oh yeah, once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Get hooked up now. Let's dive in.
All right.
Got a great episode for you guys. Oh yeah. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
That's right, large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. That's right. By listening to this very podcast, by being here, you're part of what we call the biker revolution. Hashtag. He nailed it last episode.
You should have saw the look on my face. It was completely blank.
Though the patrons will, because it's on video for the patrons early. That's right. We do have just one question for you. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics?
Mount up for another wild, I'm not going to curse, ride.
And yes, mount up. Let us take you on another wild ass ride. That's all right. There you go. Hey, don't forget, guys. That's right. No better time to become a patron member because they are getting this episode months before the regular podcast audience. They're getting it months before in the back end of their patron accounts. That's just a bunch of early access that we give the patron members. There you go. You see them right there. Oh, by the way, this is Ryan Erlacher, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
redneck.
High-tech
redneck.
There you go.
I got it backwards. I am totally...
Dude, well, we actually forgot to say it at all on the last episode. We've had a long day. We're cramming a lot in, but...
Wrenching and...
There it is. The squid. Right here at the table. It's just such a pet. It makes me happy.
It's been a long day.
Makes me so happy, that song, dude. There you go. So Squid's here back to back, 2 episodes. We filmed, I'm not going to get deep into that, but yeah, we did film earlier. We installed some Progressive 944 shocks on his 16 Ultra Limited. That video will be coming out on the YouTube channel, of course. And then we got done with that, had lunch, and bam, right into 2 episodes, podcast episodes back and back. So this episode is going to be all about the new retrofitting. If you have an older Harley, 14 to 19 or 14 to 18, because it came out on 19 models. So 14 to 18, you've got the older Boom Box system, either the 4.3 non-touch screen or you have the 6.5 GT touchscreen. You can now retrofit that through Harley. We're going to break this down for you, don't worry, but you can retrofit it at a cost and some caveats, and we're going to talk about whether you should or shouldn't and kind of how this debacles went. And then we're also going to dive in. The second part of the episode will be all on the HD Sena 30K and 20S headsets. both non-Harley stamped and Harley stamped. We tested them last year on a Grand Canyon ride, and we're finally getting around to reviewing those. And the reason I have Squid here for these type of topics is he's a real tech guy. You guys have heard him on past, seen him in videos. He's a full-time Leo, of course, and then also part of the Sworn Few, as it's been a minute since he's been on a podcast, in case you forgot. But he's a tech guy, and we can talk this stuff all day, and he's my special weapon. And I save these. Literally, I've had this on the back burner until I could get him over here so that we can discuss this particular topic. So speaking of, well, not speaking of, but I always like to mention this. We talked about in our last episode a bunch of touring equipment, but this is a new free video. It's been out for some time. I basically compare the Shoei Neotech 2 modular helmet versus the Schuber C3 Pro modular helmet motorcycle helmets. Yeah, if that makes sense. All right. Helmet, motorcycle helmet. All right. It's a complete review. It's over on the YouTube channel, of course. I'll put it in the show notes, lawabidingbiker.com/whatever episode whatever episode number this is. I will, with a caveat to that, it's actually the helmets that I use in the video are actually the Shoei Neotech, not the 2, and the Schuber C3, not the Pro. But those were both models that came before the new models. And I talk about my experiences. There was actually minor changes on both of those, and I discuss it in the video. So it's very relevant to the 2 and the 3 because I've had so much experience with those 2 helmets. And like I said, they were incremental upgrades that they made to the newer versions of both those helmets, but 90% of that helmet is exactly the same as the old model. They just made a few improvements. So yeah, get over there and check that out if you're interested in either of those. And of course, use the affiliate links underneath those videos to purchase them. We do get a small kickback if it's something that you are interested in. Let's dive in, Squid, on this. Let me pull up. So I did an article on this up front, right? Kind of when I learned about it and when it came out. Let's see, I pumped this article out on the Law Abiding Biker website on December 10th, 2019. Of course, I posted in the private Facebook group and all that. So that's kind of when I learned about it. And so I wanted to get the information out of there because a lot of people were asking, and I can just point, when people email me or they go to the website, I can just point them to this article. Where do you want to start with this? And then we can kind of roll from there.
When this first came out, Harley dropped the new GTS with their latest model line. They left us Harley owners in the lurch.
Say it isn't so. Harley did something like that?
And they're like, well, just buy a new bike and you get the new GTS. So you want me to spend $45,000 for this $1,800 or $2,500 radio? I don't think so. So that led to this fervor of other companies going, how can we make a workaround so that you Harley owners could have the new GTS? Right.
So basically Squid they basically made it. So if you guys aren't aware, because there are a lot of people that don't know anything about this, they made it the new on 19 and newer models. They came out with a different boom box. It's the GTS. You couldn't retrofit. And what we mean by that is you couldn't take your old boom box. There was no way to purchase the new GTS and then pop out your old boom box and put in the new GTS. Harley made it. There's no way to do it. No cables, and there just wasn't a way to do it, and that pissed a lot of people off. Right. And so there was a company, right, that cashed in for a while.
Yeah, I can work around Mothership.
Yes.
And they made a few bucks on it.
They did. And a lot of you guys know the company. I'm not actually going to mention them here. It's because it doesn't matter. But they were charging this company at that time. I just want to say, so a lot of guys wanted to do this. I'm not going to give you my opinion yet on, we can both get fired up about this mess. Me and Squid, we did at lunch. All right. So this company made, because Harley didn't, so you could purchase, and this company actually would sell you also a GTS unit. So they were just buying them from Harley and then, and then reselling them to you guys. And this magic cable, this magic cable, they were charging $450 for.
Smoke in a box.
Oh boy.
Smoke in a box.
I thought that was, but when you're the only game, and I think they knew it wasn't going to last. They knew Harley was working on something, but In the meantime, we know people, patrons, which is fine. We're definitely not dogging anybody for doing it. That were in the private Facebook group testing it, and they bought it. They bought the new unit. They wanted to get rid of their old boombox unit. They wanted the GTS, and they paid the $450 price tag. Plus, at that time, if I remember right, the GTS replacement unit was well over $2,000, right?
I think it was $2,500 for that box.
So you were looking at $3,000,
roughly. And
roughly, without installation.
Don't quote us.
Don't quote us because they have changed the prices.
Right.
So that company, and they were talking about it, and there was some YouTube stuff I saw, and that's America, and they cashed in for a while there on the conversion. It did work. We had feedback in the private Facebook from guys that said it worked perfect. So the product that they were distributing was a quality product.
Right.
They sell other sound equipment.
We're not talking about Harley or
sound system.
Motor Corp, right?
No, no, definitely not.
If you're listening, Motor Corp,
right?
We're joking. Don't sue me.
Oh no, they would have sued us a long time ago, bro. Some of the stuff I've said about them. Okay, so now with that said, this company is no longer needed. And I certainly wouldn't pay that price tag.
No,
because you can do it cheaper directly through Harley now, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Mothership has said, all right, now we're going to listen to the group, or we've sold enough motorcycles that now we can sell as an aftermarket add-on.
And we can price gouge our customers to replace the old boombox that they didn't like and didn't work and paid for. And now we're going to gouge them for another over $2,000 to make them think that they have to upgrade to the GTS.
So for almost $1,900.
I know people that bought new bikes, bro.
Just for the radio.
Just for the radio. And if you did that, we're not dogging you. I'm just like, that's dedicated a Harley customer.
You are loyal.
Yeah.
You are loyal.
Yeah. That's loyal. A farther loyalty than I'll go. Yeah.
But for $1,900 now, Harley will sell you the GTS as a retrofit kit. But
yeah, 1900, right? I got the prices here.
Right.
Okay.
But they say you have to buy this special cable as well.
I can't figure that out. I'm still confused about it, and I haven't had enough feedback from people. So if you're listening and you can comment and you've actually done this, and correct me if maybe you know something I don't. I don't understand what the USB connector PN is, because the USB connector PN to me is the USB that runs into your glove box.
Correct.
And I think you only need it if you have the 4.3. Here's what I think. Let me tell you what I think, and then you tell me, because we haven't actually bounced this idea.
Right.
So if you guys know this, let us know. So the funny thing is, on the Harley Davidson website, it only says that it's an upgrade for the 4.3. Do you notice that?
I didn't.
So look, and this is what people are so confused about. And I weeded through this back in December, and I'm like, what a bunch of idiots. This is typical Harley. They don't even list it right. It's an upgrade. And now we know for a fact that you can upgrade the 6.5.
It's the same form factor. Basically, it fits in the same hole.
I know, but they said for a long time on here, it looks like they've changed their wording now. Yeah. They said it's to upgrade. So forever they had it's to upgrade from the 4.3 to the GTS system.
Just a cello.
But they just frickin' typed. You can upgrade the touchscreen units too.
Right.
So anyways, clearly they fixed that, because I'm telling you, it didn't have there. Let me see if it's anywhere else. Yeah, see, it still does. Look at fits 19 and later, all the models, touring models, with a 4.3 boom box radio. Says nothing about fitting a 6.5 GT previous unit, but we know it does, because guys are doing it. But their still own stupid site, because so people were emailing me. They're like, oh, so you can't convert your 6.5 older boombox. You can only do it if you have the 4.0. What's a lie? It's not true.
Right.
Their own information is just shitty. And this is what Harley does. I don't know who they have like typing this stuff out, because it's misinformation. So that was one confusing thing. Then I'll let you talk. The other thing is, my gut tells me, and I could be totally wrong, and if you know this, please email, comment, do something, said I did it. Only do it if you know for a fact, please, because I'll add it to my article and make sure we put it out. To me, the only reason you need this USB connector pin at $31 is if you are upgrading from the 4.3, because the 4.3 doesn't have a USB interface, because I don't think so, because there's no album artwork or anything. I could be wrong. I haven't looked at a 4.3 bike lately if they have the USB interface in the jukebox compartment. So if you were upgrading from a 4.3, you would need to add the USB
I
connect.
I could see why you need it, because
we have it,
right?
Unless this, which could be the other scenario, is that with the new 2019 and newer GTS unit, it's got a different plug in the back of the radio for the USB interface. It could be a micro USB on the backside now instead of their older.
Right.
Those are the two. I honestly don't. They say you need it, but the confusing thing is they say it's only for the 4.3. So go. What say you?
I went looking some forums for people who had done this conversion. And
you did?
I've
Awesome.
gotten conflicting. Some saying I've used
I hate forums.
Old cable and it worked just fine. I reached out to that person. He said, "Yep."
Did you really? Nice.
I used that. I used my old cable. He had the 6.5 GT, changed out to the GTS. Did not purchase the new cable from
which I would try first if you don't know.
Right. So yeah,
But you said other people said that wouldn't work.
Correct. And then the other half said
this is why I hate forums sometimes, because it's they're valid in a certain way, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Like in the private Facebook group, a lot of people won't mention it unless they know for a fact.
Right.
And you get guys on there because they hear something. You don't know who you're talking to. And you're like, he may have heard it from a third party.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's so frustrating. I try to stay out of those things.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
I think you're on something with the 4.3 upgrade to a 6.5 screen, that it doesn't come with that USB cable that goes in the caddy.
The jukebox compartment. And if I'm totally wrong on that, please, if you guys have a 4.3 and you're like, no, it comes with, it's just been, none of us have them.
Right.
So I forget if it comes with the USB, because really the point of having the USB interface was for album artwork on the original Boom Box, right? Which nobody ever uses. Yeah. Or charging your phone.
Right.
But I just plug it into the cigarette lighter. But honestly, plug it in and that's the only thing it does.
Right.
It allows you album artwork.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure if you need it for like the new improvements on the GTS.
Well, you would need it so you could plug your phone in, right?
Or if the different cable provides some connection that the previous cable did not
allow
what you're saying. For the improvements. But I doubt that because it's just a USB cable.
I know. That's my gut tells me they either change it on the back or you only need it if you're upgrading from the 4.3. Yeah. But that's just my crazy mind.
For $31.
Thinking for $31, right. I guess you could buy it. And if it at this point, if you don't know, and if you don't need it, then just send it back. Don't open the package till you know if the old one works. And obviously, you need the USB interface because you need to be able to. The GT, the USB interface does a lot more, not just album artwork. It actually, because there's Apple CarPlay on it, and in order for Apple CarPlay functionality, you have to have a hard connection to your iPhone. So it's definitely a must to get the functionality out of the new Boom Box GTS. Right. Unit. What else?
So the other thing that, which is I'm frustrated with, you spend the $1,900 and you still have to go back to the dealership.
Now the $1,900 plus the $31 isn't if you take it to a dealership and install it.
All right, you got to pay them to install it. If the they mechanics do it for you.
And we're gonna. I don't know if we're gonna do a video. I'll talk about that. You go.
I digress. It's so you spend almost $2,000 for this box. That if you are a wrench kind of guy, you can do this in your garage in a day.
Yep.
They still make you go back to the mothership to plug your bike in and tattletale. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that.
Right. What do you mean by that for the audience?
So in order for your GTS,
you got to flash it.
You have to flash your bike to accept the new GTS radio, so that
they're plugging in the ECM.
So
engine control module.
They have to plug your bike in, which connects right back to Harley Motor Corp and talks about your bike. Mm-hmm. They get all the information about your bike just so you can have your upgraded radio.
Right. And when would that be an issue?
Let's say you did some engine modifications or you put in a tuner or something along that they would say would void your warranty.
Yep.
You're telling on your bike.
Anytime you have them plug it in, they have no control over it anymore, guys. I did it in my warranty video on YouTube especially with the Milwaukee 8 coming out. So the other thing is some dealerships, I get emails all the time.
Right.
My dealership doesn't charge me to flash, and the dealership shouldn't. But there are dealerships that are charging, and it'll be $50-$60.
And you're forced to
flash.
do it.
You're forced to do it.
Which is not fair.
Yep.
So if you want to do the upgrade, what are you really getting?
Right.
For this upgrade?
Yes. So break there. That's good. And I definitely want to say, talk a little bit about what you're getting and kind of whether maybe we think it's worth it.
Right. It's your money.
Yes, exactly.
But
hey, bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? 03D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. 03D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing, more time riding. 03D has a design team of riders with over 40 years experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email, sales@zero3d.com. Give them a call, 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged, Bikeaholics, so check out Zero3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwing. Better yet, help support us. Head over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Zero3D products.
yes.
Roll with what you were going to say. It's your money.
It's your money. All right. But what are you getting for that $2,000? If you have
Let's get on our soapbox.
and you already have the GT 6.5 and you're edging out thinking, I want to do that upgrade, and you're ready to fork out your $2,000. What are you really getting for that you don't already have?
Yep.
And
what are you getting? Let's talk about it.
Apple CarPlay.
Okay.
Is it worth $2,000? A fancier screen? Is it worth $2,000?
Right.
Outdated maps? If you use a navigation system built into the GTS?
You can update them for $150 through Navi Extras.
Which are still outdated.
Right. I know.
So what you're really getting, and you still have the same audio quality. So what are you getting? You're not getting wireless headsets. You still have to, if you have not purchased the WIM so that you can have wireless headsets.
The wireless headset interface module. Many videos on the YouTube channel. If you're new and you don't understand that you need a WIM, an add-on unit and we've done videos on it and installs. So look up the YouTube channel.
So that's another $400. So if you want the wireless headset and the GTS, all the same boat, you're looking at $2,600 for hardware. Now we're talking installation. If you have the shop do it for another 3-4 hours, another couple $100, we're talking almost $3,000 for Apple CarPlay, outdated maps. Is it worth it?
Mm-hmm. Good call. So if you guys don't know, and I'll get on my soapbox, do what you want. I would never look down on you. I'll start by saying, am I going to do a video on it? I don't know. Guys, I dump a lot of money back into products. We buy most of our products. We do very few like sponsored stuff, but as far as that goes, where we get the products, a lot of it we carry in our store and stuff. But this is a hard one for me. I would love to do a video on it and show you guys how to do it on YouTube. But I have to do like cost versus reward on a video like that. That's a lot of money for me to dump into that. So I don't know if we do it. It would only be to make a video to help you guys. I honestly, if it weren't for Law Abiding Biker Media here, it's not anything I would do. And again, I don't look down on it if you do it. Here's why. If you think the Boom Box GTS is a wonderful, great unit and it's going to solve all your Boom Box problems and you're frustrated with the old unit, well, you've got another thing in store because you'll be just as frustrated. It doesn't work. It's not that much better, guys. Not for the price, in my opinion. And again, if you've got extra cash and it's something you can do, go for it. If I had money laying around that I could burn, hell yeah, I'd do it. It does have some extra stuff. So, the upgrades are incremental, basically. Basically on the GTS unit, the only thing you're getting, he's already mentioned it, Squid, but the touchscreen is a little more responsive if you're using and fishing around with GPS maps, okay? It still sounds the same. It still works the same. It has a little bit, the menu's a little less clunky. It's still, like I say, the maps are a little snappier. And the biggest thing is if you're, in the Apple ecosystem, iOS ecosystem, you get Apple CarPlay. Now, Apple CarPlay is, of course, as you would expect, it's a phenomenal user experience. Phenomenal. And so if you want I have it in our Honda Pilot. I love it. I would love to have Apple CarPlay. So here's how I would use the Boom Box mostly, GTS. If I got it, is I'd plug in my iPhone and I would mostly skip all the other functionality and I would just mirror my phone to the Boom Box and use everything within Apple CarPlay with the maps, with radio, with phone calls, and all that kind of stuff. You got to be plugged in, which is fine. That's how you get the Apple CarPlay experience with a Sena headset, so that I could, give voice commands to Siri and tell her to take me places and all that kind of stuff. But that it isn't awesome. It does Apple CarPlay well. It has to, or Apple wouldn't have approved it. It has to work a certain way, just because Apple's very tight on how their stuff works and who can use their stuff. So that's really what you're getting, unless you really want those, a little bit snappier maps. That's really it, guys. It still has bugs. There still has issues. They're still doing software updates on it, trying to fix a lot of the same bugs. Now, this is important. If you think somehow that Ride Planner, the free online Harley software, I did a tutorial video. It's one of our 4 purchases. It's a very, very detailed video. And we still use Ride Planner. We're using it for this year's trip, our Sturgis trip. It's how I have everything mapped out. But we do have that 4 purchase video. You guys know where to get that. lawabidingbiker.com/Harley Boom Box is all of our Boom Box series videos. We have one on the GTS unit. We have one on the older models, the 4.3 everything. It's all over there. Very, very good tutorial videos. But what I was saying is with the Ride Planner, if you think it's going to fix that and all of a sudden Ride Planner is going to work perfect because Ride Planner is buggy too, it's not. We were talking about this. What you have to understand is Ride Planner has really nothing to do with the Boom Box. Ride Planner, when you create your ride in Ride Planner, and if it has any issues behind the code within that software, those are going to spill over when you upload it into your Boom Box. And yes, I have had contact with guys. There's still issues with sudden weird turns that it wants you to take and some waypoints getting snuck in there, and that will not change. So if you think you're going to solve your mapping with Ride Planner issues, they're the same issues that exist on the older version of the 6.5 GT version of the Boom Box.
I have a better option. A bike gripper.
Yeah, and a biker gripper in the store, and a lot of guys do that. And so there's two ways. Yeah, that's a good, there's 2 ways to go. Some guys are just, popping their phone up in a biker gripper and they're skipping the Boom Box and there's a different apps that you can use, or a lot of guys still, it's a bigger screen. I get it. I'm still using it. A lot of it is I like to stay up to date on it and the bug fixes, and I have to stay up on this stuff. So I still use it, the Boom Box, Ride Planner, all that, but you could certainly skip it. So just understand if you were on the fence about whether you wanted to upgrade to the new Boom Box GTS, hopefully people understand what they're actually getting.
If you have the money available and you want to do it, go for it. But what are you really getting for your money?
I just don't want guys out there to think that it's going to solve all the Boom Box problems. It doesn't.
They're still updating the software.
And they're never going to fix them all. We know that now. Maybe in the 3rd generation,
right,
they'll fix it all.
And like I said earlier, you still have to get the wireless headset interface module for Apple CarPlay to work.
Yep, you do.
If you don't have it installed already.
Not necessarily. There is a hack.
Oh, there's a workaround.
Well, I did a hack video. There is. Here's the thing on that. Quickly. I did a workaround video. That was a very popular video. And I hacked it. And the way you can hack it is you can actually take your bike in. You don't have to have the WIM on. You can have them flash it, but you have to watch the video on YouTube. I show you. You basically check that you have a WIM, even though you don't have a WIM. It's just a checkbox. They'll flash your bike. It'll fool your bike to think it has a WIM. and it will activate Apple CarPlay. Or you can also tell it that you want to activate microphones.
Right.
Either way will do it. Then you'll get, but the thing is with Apple CarPlay, it's really, you're only getting half of Apple CarPlay if you don't have a microphone. So if you're not rocking a headset, I mean, you've just taken away half of Apple CarPlay, which is voice commands,
right?
Which is, hey Siri, play this song. Hey Siri, she didn't activate. I was waiting for her to activate. Hey Siri, take me to this location. So understand that you're kind of crippling Apple CarPlay if you don't have a WHIM, because now you can't pair a headset with your Boom Box, which means you can't give Siri commands. So now what I've heard since I've done that video is that a lot of the new bikes are coming with those checked already.
Oh, so you can.
They must have saw my video.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that. Don't quote me on that. If it doesn't work when you plug your phone in, then that's what you have to do. You have to take it down. I would get a WHIM if you're going to go that far, so you have the microphone and everything. But if you just want to hack it and trick it, just tell it has a WHIM, even though it doesn't. And then you'll at least get the Apple CarPlay interface without voice commands. So, all right.
But yeah,
that was a hack.
Is it worth it?
Yep.
Is it worth it?
Are you going to do it? That's what I want to know.
Ooh.
Because you've been back and you've been on the fence.
I've been on the fence.
You've been on the fence since that other company came out with the $450 Magic box.
Yeah, smoking a box. I'm on the fence. I'm leaning towards just more amps and speakers. Because I have the WHIM. I have the HD stamped headset.
Yep.
Yeah, I drink the Kool-Aid.
And you're not in the Apple ecosystem.
No, I am
So he can't even use Apple CarPlay even if he got it. So he basically would get snappier maps that you can move around with your finger if you're using the internal GPS outdated maps on the Boom Box.
Which I don't use anyway because I used a biker gripper and my own phone.
You are skipping it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, everybody does it
navigating.
different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And see, I don't, but only because I have to stay up on it a lot. But I back it up. To each day I look, and I also have it on a different application so that I can make sure Ride Planner's not screwing me.
Right.
Just a kind of a double,
for me,
safety net.
My head unit is to pipe in my satellite radio.
Okay. Oh, you're still one of those guys.
Yes.
Oh, I go off on my satellite radio guys all the time. That's funny.
Hey, I'm older. No, I have disposable income.
No, that's fine. I get it. No, I'm not even, don't even, I always ask, like, what is on there? Because I had it free on my Honda Pilot. So if you guys have it, I'm just going to say it because I always like asking guys because I'm generally interested. I had it on my Honda Pilot for free because they try to push it on you when you buy a new car. And then after a year, they shut it off. I haven't missed one thing. I tried it. Like, what do they have that I can't get for free on podcasts? Like, what's on there that is better or what? I can get it all free. I can get it. I already pay an Apple Music subscription. I can get like 18 million songs. I can get podcasts that download for free. Who's on there that's so cool that I can't get anywhere else?
When there's no cell service.
But I get Apple Music. It's downloaded on my phone. I don't need cell service. My podcasts, I just download them. They're all downloaded on my phone ahead of time because I know I'm going through rural areas. It's all on my phone. I don't need a cell signal.
I guess I need to get Apple phones. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I guess. So, no, and it's generally curious. A lot of guys are like you, and it's okay. Yeah. They're like, I'm not sure. I just had it. Well, I'm telling you guys, if you got disposable income, but I'm telling you, there's nothing on satellite radio that I can't get anywhere else for free.
Right.
I guess I don't get Apple Music for free, but I don't want to pay 2 subscriptions, right? I get Apple Radio. I get Apple. Yeah. So anyways, it's always an interesting conversation because I just feel like satellite radio is dying because we have smartphones, and who needs satellite radio anymore? You just download it all on your phone. But
I need it. I'm hooked.
And I'm not dogging you. I'm just, every time I hear some of the satellite radio, I'm like, I have to, because there's got to be something there on why satellite radio exists still. And every time I've asked anybody, they're like you, like Lurch has it. He's like, I don't know.
It's convenient.
I just have it.
It's convenient.
I don't know. I just have it, and I just been paying for it. He goes, he actually said the last thing, he goes, I guess I probably need to dump it because it's a waste of money now. But he doesn't. He's just there,
Right. But for me, I use it on my bike.
Right.
My work car.
I get it, but I use my iPhone everywhere. It's in my pocket.
My work car and my personal car.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know what regular radio.
Well, I don't use regular radio either.
But yeah,
I don't listen to it. I just I've had a smartphone. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's that's great. It's great, dude. on the Apple iPhone, you can just type in any radio, like alternative music station, just like they have, and it does the same thing. It's Apple Radio, and it does all, because that's what I found with satellite radio. Trying it. Well, I don't know how. They're great conversations, and please don't hate me if you. I'm not dogging you if you have satellite radio
opinions.
I just like to be educated. Like I'm a tech guy, and I'm like, I can't understand why it exists. Because on there, when I had it, all it had was that. It just had stations like Pearl Jam radio or alternative music radio or this radio and these dedicated stations that play genres of music. And I'm like, Apple Radio right on my iPhone does the same thing, and it curates it better. It actually listens to what I like, and it has algorithms that then recommend more music like that. And it gets in this perpetual thing where I'm actually hearing and getting exposed.
So the man is tracking you.
Yeah, have you, dude? Yeah, we're being tracked right now. We're on Google, dude. I gave that up a long time ago. Being tracked. Those satellites are tracking.
Yes, and then it'd be the black Suburbans.
Yes, exactly. Anyways, I digress. But thanks for answering and putting up with my crap.
No.
And I hope you know I'm not dogging. I'm just like, that's the answer I've got from everybody. Nobody goes, it's because this guy is on there and you can't hear him anywhere else. Right. Nobody says that. They're all like, it's really convenient. But then I tell them what the iPhone does, and they're all like, oh, well, that's interesting. Maybe I'm paying too much.
I might be.
They're going to sue me. So, dude, as many times as I've said this, frickin' what's it called? XM radio is going to come after me. Straight up come after me.
I'll have to get in line.
If you like it, enjoy it. Okay. Enjoy your satellite radio. All right.
I will.
Okay.
On the way home. I'll play it loud when I leave.
With a red face going, that Erlacher doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, that jackass. All right. There's the Boom Box, guys. I have the article with actual links to the Harley site. Obviously, I'm not affiliated with Harley for obvious, but I have the links and an article to kind of what you need, and you can go check your fitment. And again, before we take it out and talk about Senas, let me know. Comment on this podcast episode. Email me. Just please, if you do, don't hear it from a friend. Say, I installed it.
Right.
I upgraded from a Boom Box 4.3 and I had to buy the cable, or I upgraded from a 6.5 and the USB interface I didn't have to upgrade. Make sure it's firsthand you did it, because it's information I want to put out and update my article so that people, I'm trying to help bikers, and by you helping me, I can help bikers do that. I'm not getting anything out of it other than I have no sponsorship, nothing. This is strictly because I got inundated with
if we
questions.
Could save them a couple bucks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Save $31 in the hassle.
Yeah.
But all the links are take you straight to the Boom Box upgrade units and the USB interface cable, and it'll get you to the Harley site, and you can decide and see. We'll see if I'm going to end up doing a video. I've put it off. Hard for me to part with that money just for a YouTube video.
Maybe Mothership will call you.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah. Imagine if that happened, dude. All right. We're doing good, but we need to wrap it up. We're going to dive right into, let's see, where are we? We're going to dive into the Sena headset topic. So why don't you just open this up and talk about some of our testing and things like that, and where we tested this. And all right, go for it.
So for our last
impart your knowledge on us.
Our last group ride, we went down to the Grand Canyon area for it was like a week, and some of us had the Harley branded 30K, some of us had the 20S, and some have had the new mesh adapters, and we wanted to figure out what are the capabilities of these systems for group riding. And I found it very, very interesting because me and my partner, she has a non-HD stamp 30K. And when we're on the bike, we talk together through the mesh.
Why don't you, keep going.
So the 30K Sena headset has two different modes that it can communicate in. The mesh mode, which is...
Can I back you up?
Yeah.
And sorry, just because remember our audience, a lot of them have zero clue what you just said about HD stamped and non-HD stamped Senas, and you got to clean that up first. Okay. I'm going to let you do it though.
Right. So Sena is under contract with Harley Davidson to produce Bluetooth headsets in their 30K model and their 20S model. I do believe it's up to the 20 Evo model now as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the Harley Davidson brand model has a different type of coating that when it's plugged in, connected to the WIM, will allow the headset to receive true stereo sound.
From the Boom Box.
From the Boom Box. Now, you can connect a non-Harley Davidson branded Bluetooth headset, such as the 20,
the regular Sena 20S 30K,
or another company's Bluetooth headset, but your sound is going to be mono or that of an AM radio signal.
Very good. Yes, and additionally, I'll add that with the HD stamped Sena 30K or 20S, you also get extra menu settings within your Boombox system. You'll just get a basic pair. If you pair a regular 20S or regular Sena 30K mono sound, and you'll just get a basic pair. When you do the HD stamped one, you can actually manipulate all the settings within the Sena headset right on the Boombox screen. Those are the two different, and of course, the Sena, the HD stamp ones are quite a bit more money.
Oh, a little bit more, but you're paying for the name
tax. That's
for the
right.
Same headset.
And if you're interested after this conversation to decide which one, if any, that you want for you, your partner, your group, we do sell the regular Sena 20S 30K. We'll talk about the new 50K forthcoming. 50K.
Yep.
Coming out. We sell all those in the Law Abiding Biker store. We have them in stock, ready to go. We would love to get one in your hands should you so choose. We do not have the HD stamped one. Only HD can sell those.
Right.
Or dealerships and things like that. So there you go. If you want an HD stamped one, you got to go to the man.
And pay the money.
That's right.
Pay the man.
Bend over.
So our trip, we tested these 3 devices out to what are the capabilities. And I was very interested and very, very shocked. So the 30K can communicate in 2 different modes. One, which is a mesh mode, which is
just the 30K, not the 20S.
Just the 30K. Okay. It can transmit and receive in 2 different communications modes. One being the mesh mode, which is you need other 30Ks only in that mode will it communicate with, where basically they can come in and out. Basically, they check into the group and the device will start communicating.
Without pairing.
You don't have to pair I take that back. In the mesh, there are 2 different modes. There's the public mode.
Oh, see, I'm starting to remember.
Right. So in the 30K, which has these 2 different modes, one being the mesh and the other being Bluetooth, but we're going to stick with the mesh mode. Inside the mesh mode of communicating, you have 2 sub modes or groups. One being public, where essentially anyone in the with a 30K, be it Harley stamped or non-Harley stamped, if they're in the public mode, they come in range of the device and people can start communicating and hearing others' conversations.
That's the public mesh mode.
In the public mesh mode.
One thing quick. This is good. You're doing great. Right. The other question we get a lot before we move on to the other mesh mode is, will the 20S and talk to the 30S HD stamped or non-HD stamped? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. You can talk if you're paired headset to headset. You can talk a non-HD stamped 20S can talk to a HD stamped 20S or 30K, or 20S to 30K outside of a mesh, which we'll get to.
Right.
We're trying to keep this as clean as possible for you that are actually in it. A lot of people are like, all right, I'm done with this episode.
Right.
I'm not interested. And I'm sorry about that, but this interests a lot of people. We get a lot of questions on it. So move on to second mesh mode.
There's public. So in the private mode, basically sort of like
the private mesh mode.
Private mesh mode, just like the private Facebook group, right?
No trolls.
No trolls. Basically, the leader will set up this private group, and then other individuals will have to join this private group prior to being able to communicate. And there are some benefits to that we learned between the public mesh mode and the private mesh mode. The private mesh mode gave you additional range and a cleaner signal. The public mesh mode was you had more static in the background, a noisier experience, and a shorter range between bikes that you were able to communicate.
Just say it. It was freaking horrible.
It was. Yes.
And we sell Sena stuff, but I'm the first to be a critique of that part of it. The public mesh mode to me is very unusable.
Right.
It's horrible.
Right. It was not a good experience.
No. Explain the kind of what happened there and what we experienced with the public mesh mode, 30K only.
Or you had the shorter ranges.
I mean, it was like, we were riding in a group. It was like 2 bikes ahead of you. Bad. Like bad.
Like maybe 50, 60 yards.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. I might be a little longer than that, but it wasn't much longer than that you would start dropping out.
Horrible.
You would hear the other engines on the bikes. It was just, wasn't a very clean, wasn't a solid signal for what, even though they're professing up like a kilometer of range.
Yep. Sena always, and again, we sell their products. They have pluses and minuses. We're very honest here and open. That's why we're telling you all this. They just way overstate.
Right. They overstate
the ranges. They've always done it, and they continue to do it. And I wish they wouldn't. But go ahead.
But so public mode, great in theory, but in reality, excuse me, it was not a good experience. The private mode, however, took a little bit more setup, but it gave you what you would expect, what you were expecting from the product: a nice clean signal and additional range. I preferred it.
Yeah, definitely. And it keeps it private.
Right.
So nobody can just jump in and out.
Right.
Right. You know the group you're talking to.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's still a mesh mode, so that the people that are part of that private group can drop off. Right?
Yes.
And then once they come back into that group, they don't have to repair. They just automatically rejoin that private group. That's the benefit of that.
It's a very nice feature.
So you have a group of 8 and part of you want to stop for lunch and the other ones want to keep going. Then they catch up. The other group that stopped for lunch, they catch up to you. All they have to do is come within range of the group.
Yep. You ride every weekend with people. You get back together. You still have the group going. Right.
And battery life, when you're in public or in the mesh mode, was significantly less.
It burns the battery.
Right.
You'll want to take a charger and charge at lunch if you're going to be running them, especially if you're listening to music and talking. And in the mesh mode, it burns your battery straight up.
Maybe 6 hours, 7 hours.
It's more
roughly,
depending on how much music and how much talking you're doing. That would be max.
Right. So that was my experience, about 6 hours or so. With my 30.
And you were listening to music a lot.
Yep. And that was my HD stamped 30K.
Okay. Yeah, you did. I remember you saying that you were getting, So that's like a half of a day on some days for us riding. Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So either you bring a second headset or you're going to be charging it.
Right.
And I brought along a small portable charger and I would plug it in when we took stops.
Yes, you did. And I just take a cigarette 12 volt charger, and at lunch, I just plug it in and I leave it out in the little jukebox compartment charging. Yeah.
So that's the mesh mode. Now the 30K has the traditional Bluetooth mode, which is similar to that of the 20S 20 Evo, where you can pair up to, I do believe it's 8.
I think so. Don't quote us.
Don't quote us because I didn't use that mode. But it's a traditional where you have to pair each headset in sort of like a chain.
It's a Bluetooth, right?
Right. Bluetooth mode. In the Bluetooth mode, you're basically connecting the headsets in a Bluetooth chain. And one of the detractors of that is if one of those headsets in that chain, they leave, the chain breaks and the communication breaks down. You don't automatically rejoin that group. To the best of my understanding.
Okay. Yeah. And you know more about them than me. I don't know that particular, but with Bluetooth, it is fair to say you'll definitely get better range.
Better range. Yep.
And your battery will last longer.
Correct.
So the mesh is public. The private mesh is very convenient, and that's pretty much where we run it because it is convenient, but we have to fight the battery thing.
Right.
Because we're in that mode. So, and yes, the 20S can pair to the 30K, but you'd have to use Bluetooth mode because 20s do not have the mesh mode, which brings us into the next thing that we tested, which is a workaround, right?
Right. So
we sell this in the store too.
Sena sold this, or they have this mesh adapter for 20S 20 Evo, essentially non 30K headsets to allow them to join a mesh group.
It's a little box with an antenna.
Right, that your headset connects to this box. The box,
your 20S connects to it, right?
Your 20S,
turns it into a mesh,
right? But it will only connect to a public group.
So, that's right. See, I'm glad I have you on this. I forgot some of this stuff.
So your 30K, as I mentioned earlier, when it's in mesh mode, can operate in 2 different sub modes: public mode or the private mode. And we mentioned the public mode, poor range, poor sound experience, sound quality.
Right.
Or in private mode, better range, better sound quality. This mesh adapter only works in the public mode. So you lose. It was a great idea by Sena.
It was, yes.
But I think they missed the mark by not allowing it to operate in both modes so that you have the full experience of riding in a group.
Of the full mesh experience?
Yes.
I agree. That's something we learned. We just out testing, guys. This is stuff we just had to go out and test. Yeah. And so Lurch had one because they're both rocking older 20Ss, and Rick, Big Daddy, had one. And so they put we were selling them in the store, so obviously we want to test them. So are they, viable? Well, yeah, it depends what you want. We've just explained it. Like, you're going to get the public mode, you're going to get limited range, but on the same token, if you can't fork out and buy a new 30K mesh, it's a cheaper option to get you to at least get into that mesh network. Or you could always just pair with your 30K friends via Bluetooth. But I'm telling you, your 30K friends are going to want to be on that private mesh because it's so easy to group talk and in and out, and it just makes better experience. Did you tell them, I think I have here, maybe you did, our estimations in like wide open areas outside of public areas we were getting about 3/4 of a mile of range with the mesh network in the private mesh mode. Which is pretty close to the Bluetooth professed limits that Sena put out. Right. So that was in the middle of nowhere. No other interference, and it was, you could see line of sight. Remember that if you're in the mountains and you're going around corners and you can't see each other, then that's going to significantly reduce the range. These are line of sight type communication devices. So I just want to be fair on that. Of course, Sena's going to test it on a wide open road in New Mexico that you can see for 4 miles and go, yeah, we got 3/4 of a mile. That's what we did just to see its fullest capability. But yeah. Go ahead. But it's better than not having anything. Absolutely. Right. We used it. It's great. We use it to coordinate passing and somebody needs gas. Yep. Somebody needs gas or road hazards. It is amazing. To have especially when you're riding for 10 days with a group of guys, For sure. Yeah. So talk about, those are generally speaking, I think that gives some of the capabilities of these things. Here's what I say, if you can afford it, obviously, I would just get your group, everybody to bump up to the 30Ks. The 20S is still viable, but if you all have 20Ss, then just tell the new guy that's coming in your group, get a 20S. Right. But if everybody's kind of you're the holdout, I would just try to bump up to a 30K and all get within that mesh network. Because you turn it on and it just works. Once you set it up. It makes it so much easier. And I think that the mesh is going to improve, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that can come loose and slap your paint. Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attach strapless luggage rack systems. His father-son team designed something really special you can't find anywhere else. Yep, these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to the Law-Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack products. And I'm rocking Rick Rack. A bunch of us are rocking Rick Rack, and we'll be heading to Sturgis with my Rick Rack this year and all my Zero stuff on my bike. Heck yeah, we promote what we use, guys. All right, so let's wind it down. And what you know about, go ahead. What do you got for me? So quickly, Sena is advertising the next mesh machine, the 50S and 50R. Oh, so it's two different models. I haven't looked into the Zero, so this is you. Right. So the 50S and the 50R. The 50S, So that means Harley's going to make a new Harley stamped 50S and 50R. Have to. Of course. Come on. So the 50S is similar in form factor. If you guys go look up the 30K, they look very similar. Just a little different jog dial, but it's going to offer you these things. Same mesh, Wi-Fi firmware updates. Basically, you connect the device to you plug it in,
and the dongle connects to your Wi-Fi network, and it will automatically reach out to Sena. And if there's any firmware updates, it will
About time.
It will update.
Now, the 30K has that capability, but you have to buy for $50 a docking station. So it's kind of new, but kind of not new.
Right.
But now it comes stock with that,
Right.
which is that's actually really cool because I get tired of having to check and plug it in, and it should just update like a phone. Very, very welcome addition.
So it's going to also come with this Bluetooth 5.0. I'm not familiar with that. But it's the latest,
greatest, fastest Bluetooth,
and
better connectivity.
Right. Thinner, better speakers. I know that's an issue for my 30K. The speakers are the audio experience is a little poor. They're tinny.
Yeah,
the sound.
All the companies are. It's hard to make a good. You can't make it thick because it's in a helmet, and so they all sound tinny.
Right.
They're just if you're looking for great stereo sound, like great headphones, it's never going to happen.
No,
not with current technology in a motorcycle helmet. It's tinny.
That same range. You're supposed to be able to connect their Sena remote control. I think you can do that currently with a handlebar mount remote control.
That's right. That thing came with my 30K, didn't it?
The remote.
Oh, what was that?
Maybe it's your 10. Did you have a 10C?
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. I remember I had one headset. I was thinking, did I throw that back in the box? Yeah, you're right. It was. It was the, I did have a 10C. What helmet did I have that on? I can't remember, but I had the remote control.
So it's coming with a remote.
Okay.
Not that you really need a remote to listen to music or whatnot, but it's going to come with be able to be compatible with a remote.
So you don't have to reach up and do the jog dial and stuff, which I could care less about.
Right.
I wouldn't use the remote. I got enough stuff on my handlebars.
Right. And they're going to have a new app.
Oh, all right.
So expect something else not to work right away.
Correct.
So this is not out yet.
This is the 10 or the 50.
50S and 50R. The 50R,
yes,
same device, smaller. Same form factor as the 20S, essentially. So they get rid of the jog dial and they just add 3 buttons.
Okay.
So,
but it's mesh.
Right.
It's form factor of a 20S
with a mesh.
With a mesh. Mm-hmm. Probably both modes.
Correct.
Right.
Public and private.
So I think that regular 20Ss are going to kind of fade out, except for older groups that they just aren't upgrading and are going to use those, and they all just are happy with that system. But yeah, that seems like that. Yeah, the regular 20Ss are going to phase now. Mm-hmm. I've still got a regular 20S too.
So looking at their website, their Mesh 2.0, their Mesh 2.0 is going to offer 9 different group channels.
Okay.
So you could, like turning to a different FM radio station, turn to a different group channel in public mode. So you can have 9 different public groups. It looks like 9 different public groups.
Okay, I'm confused on that. Say that again.
So the multi-channel open mesh intercom. So you can have
the public.
Yep.
Okay.
You have 9 different channels available. So right now, when you in your 30K, when you connect in public mode, it's everyone's in one group.
Right.
So from what I'm reading, it appears you can have 9 different public groups.
Okay.
So you can
Interesting.
Choose which public group you want to attach your device to.
Interesting. Well, yeah.
Or you can have your one group mesh, or correction, a private group, and connect up to 24 devices to that private group.
Wow.
Which is more, I think before it was 16.
Yeah, it was lower than 24.
And only like 6 or so could actually two-way communicate. The rest could only listen. But now you can have up to 24 members in that private group.
Wow, okay.
So, but still same range.
Okay.
Same limitations that way, I'm going to assume.
Wonder if they made the mesh any better at all.
Well, it's Mesh 2.0.
All right. Yeah, it's got to be.
It has to be better.
All right. It's going to kick ass. Yeah.
But there's no date for availability that I've found yet, but it's coming soon. So I would say probably this upcoming riding season.
Right.
Since this has been on their website for a good 6 months.
Oh, it has, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
So
they'll probably want to pump it out. Yeah.
Way at Sturgis.
Yeah, exactly. When it all gets going, you know, or the riding season, depending on where you live. Okay, interesting. So yeah, 50K, obviously we're a Sena dealer. We'll get those in our store when they become available. I don't know if it's worth an upgrade to that. I probably won't be. It doesn't sound that substantial to me. I'll just stick with our 30K and use our private mesh group because we're never going to have 24. We only have like a few of us within the group spread throughout that have the 30K mesh. Yeah. As we wind it down, let's talk anything else on that. I think that was a good overview. Hopefully that gives you guys a good idea, of if you're interested in these type of systems and listening to your music. And yes, all of them, it goes without saying, you can take phone calls, and that's why I like having a lot, especially on long distance trips. There's a lot of times I turn everything off and it's just me soul time. And I get that. We get a lot of comments, I ride a motorcycle to get away. Okay. All right. I get it. Tough guy. But when you're gone, they do.
I don't want to okay, but that's you.
Here's the deal. Those are the same people. And I know that go on little day ride.
Right.
And they ride to lunch and back.
Right.
Yeah. I don't turn it on when I do that, guys. I'm telling you, because I've had some conversations.
Right.
Those are your guys that, if I want to do that, I'll jump on the Dyna Lowrider and I'll go rip around. I don't want nothing.
Right.
That's my time.
Right.
I will tell you, and there's just some tough guys sometimes, and I get it. If you want to unplug, I do it too. But I'm telling you, when you're on a 10-day cross-country trip, the fact that I can be in touch with my family because I get very little sleep, and in the mornings is when I make my calls. I call my daughter. I have my Shui Neotech 2 on. It's quiet. I can literally go down the road and check in with my daughters. I then call my wife and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll listen to some tunes. And then you know what? About halfway through the day, bam, it's off and it's soul time. So I get it. I like to unplug and disconnect too. But when you're on a cross country trip and when you get tired and you're on day 6 with 4 hours of sleep and you're damn near head nodding on your motorcycle, the fact that you can crank some music up to keep you awake, it's a safety thing. So be a tough guy. That's fine. I get it. And I like to be the tough guy too. And I'm detaching from all society and all forms of communication. And I'm going to just be a hardcore cruiser rider and the wind and bugs in my teeth. I get it. I do those little day rides too. And they're wonderful. But it really comes in handy. Do you agree?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not dogging you I'm just saying some guys get on and they're just, that's the tough guy. And okay, we get it. You're a tough Harley guy. I get it. You want to detach and you don't want anything to do with society and phone calls.
But some of us have a business to run.
Yes.
And we still have to take care of business.
And for emergencies.
Right.
When I'm gone, if my wife or family or mother who's elderly, she at least can call me and I see it and I can answer in an emergency. Even if I don't make any calls, even if I don't listen to any music, it's there. I can put it on Do Not Disturb so only my family members can get through. So, and the music has literally saved my life before when I'm so tired.
It's another tool to enjoy the biking experience.
Yes, I listen to podcasts. I catch up on podcasts, all kinds of stuff.
That's why we're here.
Yep.
We'll help you enjoy the biking experience.
Yeah, in whatever way you want to.
Yep.
And if you want to go on a 10-day trip without any of it, then go. That's you. I have no problem with that at all. There's days that I don't listen to anything all day just because I need a break.
Right.
But it is there for those emergencies. So that's what I say. Not trying to push you into getting a headset. Just saying, it's a convenience. So let's wind it down with this. We're doing good, and I think my opinion is a lot of people, we've got a lot of comments. Sena got, and we obviously sell Sena stuff. We use Sena stuff. There's other ecosystems out there.
Right.
We're not saying that any of the others are bad. In fact, some of them are very promising. I used Cardo before, the integrated neck roll in my Schuber C3 helmet. I liked it. It wasn't mono. But they make some stereo stuff too. Everybody's kind of getting into some stereo stuff, doing that with their headsets. But, it's just one of those things, there's the group, the Pack Talk, who makes that?
That's Cardo.
That's Cardo. Mm-hmm. So, here's the deal. You got to pick an ecosystem. I don't think any of them, in my opinion, are revolutionary over the other. They've all got issues. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to answer this question now to the group. So the two competing vendors, Sena and Cardo,
are the two big,
right? Their mesh devices do not intercommunicate.
Good to know.
You get one or the other. And I've seen that comment or question come up quite a bit on different forums and here. So If you're in a group and the majority of that group is using one vendor or the other, you should buy from that vendor so that you can use that mesh.
Same with their Bluetooth. They don't all cross over and pair via Bluetooth. Just so you also know that it's hit and miss.
Right. So
you have to pick an ecosystem. And once you get locked in that ecosystem, it kind of is what it is.
Right.
So Cardo's not bad. Just because we don't sell Cardo, we sell Sena. Maybe we'll sell Cardo in the future. I don't know. I need to look at that actually. But, you get locked in a system and you got to pick it, and everybody's kind of got to go with it if you want more of a seamless integration, so to speak. But I will say this, Sena got in bed with Harley. We all know that. And I think we get a lot of comments and questions about this on my YouTube videos. So I'll give you my opinion. Financially, it was probably a really good deal for Sena.
Right.
To get in bed. And what I mean by bed, they're obviously stamping their Sena stamped Harley headsets, or their Harley stamped Sena headsets exclusive to Harley. Now, clearly, Sena has the codec to make stereo sound, but they got into bed with Harley. They're getting a big fat paycheck. And in my opinion, they're effing their regular customers, and it's pissing a lot of people off. And I'll tell you from reading online and some of the comments, a lot of people are so pissed at Sena that they're leaving Sena to a different ecosystem because they did that, because they have the codec to make the Harley one have stereo sound with the Boom Box, and they could simply add that codec to their regular 30K and 20S, and we could have stereo sound and not have to pay the Harley tax. But they are clearly under contract to only have that codec in the Harley stamped one and forcing customers into the Harley brand. I don't know as a company. Again, I don't know their financial reports and how well Sena's doing, because I know that must have been, for them to do that, must have been a big fat paycheck. I don't know how long that contract goes on,
right?
Or if at some point they can even introduce that. But my gut would tell me that's a permanent thing.
I don't think Harley wants.
No,
because they want competition.
Exactly, they can't. They want to force you into the Harley stamped Sena. From a customer relation standpoint, I think it was one of the worst moves Sena could have made to do that. Because although they may have made a lot of money, they've ruined a little bit of their reputation. Some will get over it, some won't. Some have moved on. I've seen it. What say you?
I say it's a bad deal. I should be able to connect my whatever device I want to my machine and have the full sound experience.
We already know it was a bad move by Harley, right?
Right.
We knew they were going to make a bad move because that's what Harley does.
Right.
But Sena had a choice.
They chose to show me the money. Mm-hmm. Show me the money.
Yep.
And they took it and ran.
They did. I hope it was a big, big fat paycheck, because they're going to take a hit with some customers because of that. But then Harley does the same kind of stuff and they still got customers. So it's give or take. It's just my opinion.
The only reason I purchased is because I really wanted the stereo sound.
Yeah. Right.
Because I had a 30K.
Right.
Gave it to my partner so she can use it.
Right.
I could have bought another one for less. But I figured, well, I might as well bite the bullet and get the full stereo experience for my helmet.
Yeah. Going through the Boom Box.
Right.
Because you can get stereo sound with the regular Senas, right? If you pair them directly to your phone.
Oh, yeah, you can.
You're just cock blocked with mono if you try to pair it with the Boom Box.
So
you guys that aren't using the Boom Box, you can still use the 30K and get stereo if you go pair directly to your phone, right?
Right. And so when we say connect to the Boom Box, we mean connect it to the WIM.
Through the Boom Box.
Or not.
Yes.
Didn't know.
Good call. Good call. So yeah, it cripples basically the regular Sena. And that's just clearly a codec, the way they're doing that. And it's for a clear reason that nobody has any doubt why they're doing that.
For the money.
It's for the money. Show me the money. I need that sound clip. Show me the money. Yeah. So there you go. And I know most of you probably think the same thing out there, but that's a business deal and neither here nor there. But we can certainly have our opinion right here on the Law Abiding Biker Podcast.
Whether you want it or not.
You want to take it out there?
Or here's your call to action.
Well, it's up to you. I'm just saying, do you have anything else to say or you want to take the episode out?
Let's go.
It's been good, guys. Woo! 2 episodes back to back. I hope I let you talk enough, dude. Sometimes I just get talking too much.
And I got enough. I got enough in.
You were a value to have here today to cover these two topics, especially the tech one, with your wealth of knowledge on this stuff. And I know a lot of people are probably like, I don't care about. Hey, we got to reach the whole audience, and we have a big segment of our audience that is highly interested in the Boom Box and Sena and the integration, and we kind of have become the online experts with the Boom Box video series. Don't forget, if you guys want to learn very detailed videos, of course we have that. What else do you want to tell them here? Anything?
So
you do need to do this, dude. You need to. Your bike is filthy.
It is dirty.
We had it on the lift today. It's absolutely filthy. That means he rides.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do about that?
Don't ride without the slide. Bikeaholics Bug Slide, absolutely the best motorcycle cleaner on the market. Bug Slide, tried and tested by the Law Biker crew, and it's our number one go-to Water's motorcycle cleaner. Bug Slide cleans, shines, and degreases while removing bugs and other surface contaminants with ease. Use it on your motorcycle, car, boats, and more. Never need to wax again. The release agent in Bug Slide contains a UV filter for added protection. It is free of abrasives and is safe on all non-porous surfaces. Use it on your helmet, face shield, I do. Even safe on your Harley denim paint. We believe in it so much we carry it in stock right in the law-abiding biker store. Mm-hmm.
Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Big Daddy Kane has it ready. Him and Grunt, they have a box in their hand right now. They've got peanuts in the other hand. They're ready to put it in a box, add a little bit of law-abiding biker love and care, box that baby up, and you'll feel it. You'll feel the love when you open that box, when you open those peanuts. Hopefully they don't fart in the box and close it.
Well,
would you think it would make it all the way through shipping? Probably. I've smelled Big Daddy before, dude. It might. If you smell that, that's not love and care. And I would like you to report that to me.
Tacos.
And I'll have a talk with. We don't need any farts in the box en route to you. So all right, total ridiculousness as usual, guys. I want to thank Squid for being here. He rode over in the cold, and it is mid-afternoon, and you still got a little bit of light left, and he's going to zip on home, an hour and a half, rocking his, I'm sure you'll put the heated gear on.
Oh, yes.
You got to.
Got to.
Even though it's sunny, it's still winter here.
Right.
Thanks, guys.